out in his holy Sefer HaTanya, and on his Yahrzeit, in his merit, we'll try to understand it a little bit. The souls are assisting us. Rabbi Nachman, was someone who constantly was working on his holy level with souls. With holy souls, he was bringing them to him somehow. Not that we understand these concepts. And every night he was busy with Masakin and Neshamas and souls. That's one of the reasons why he's buried in Uman. Why is it Rabbi Nachman buried in Uman? Because he's fixing up the 20,000 martyrs or more that were buried in that graveyard in Uman, and he chose to be part of that place and to elevate all those souls, or they chose him. What do we understand of these concepts? But the idea is that he was busy with souls. So some tzaddikim are meritorious to connect with souls in this world. And for us, we don't even know that this is happening, but, there is, movies and things out there. We should, break this, a little bit of focus on Dybbuk, this Dybbuk concept. There is a reality of that, and our rabbis talk about it. Generally, that's a negative experience, like a soul that's a little bit, deranged and how it expresses itself. There's some tikkun of shmur saloshin, or some sort of something that was wrong with the mouth, and it comes into these people and takes over the body and starts making wild sounds and crazy things and freaking people out. There's movies about this, that, and Svarim talk about it, and the people who've removed Dybbuk. And this idea Dybbuk is this idea connect. A soul connects, a lost soul that was roaming the world. So there are, and there are even movies recently about how there's some souls who come to people in the world generally and are helping them fix certain things up, and they're aware that something took over them, but they don't really understand it. And there's these concepts are going around and around. So why am I talking about it? Once again, my wife did say, this is a deep subject, you have to be careful, but I'm saying this as a disclaimer. I don't really know and understand this concept truly, but I do know that all of us are being influenced on a soul level by these righteous souls who are coming and assisting us. So when we do the mitzvah of kibbud av v'em, we honor our parents, as it says in a famous ma'aser from Tzaddikim. I think it was brought down by the Yiddish Kodesh. The one time the Yiddish Kodesh was able to see in a Gemara shir that there was a student there, and he suddenly went out and he went off and he had to do something for his family, and he did the mitzvah. He helped his mother with the trash or whatever it was. She was a yisoma, she was a divorcee or an alman or something like that. She didn't have her husband to help her, so he went out on a fixed basis to go help her with something, and then came back. The rabbi, Yiddish Kodesh, was sitting there trying to understand a Gemara, didn't understand it. Came the soul of Abai into his mind and enlightened his mind. Abai also was an orphan, didn't have a father and mother at all, and that's one of the Rosh Hashanah of his name. Didn't have this, and he's this Heilige rabbi from the Gemara, Mora, came to the Yiddish Kodesh and enlightened him, so he'd understand the text. And he saw that, where did this soul suddenly come into the room? In the merit of this boy who'd went out to go honor his mother in a way that nobody else could, and then enlighten him to understand the Gemara, the Talmud. So this is the kind of stories that, that tzaddikim would experience on a daily level, that souls would come, righteous souls, and give them the strength, give them the power to become more spiritual and enlivened in this world. And how does this relate now? Right now we're in the Parshat of Vayara. So there's these 7 plagues coming into the world and smashing all the different klippos, all these different forces, these external forces controlling the souls of the world, of the Egyptian empire and the world at that time, and all these slave masters that were inflicting the Jewish people, these distractions and craziness, inflicting the Jewish people and the world from being less spiritual and less inspired. It came these 7 plagues and slowly undid these messed up 7 sayings of creation and purified them and cleaned them. And just like it was a hit to the Egyptians, it was a purification of the Jewish people. Each one was a refuah, as it says in the Gemara, was a healing. And that power comes in. There's forces Hashem's giving into the world to assist us to spiritualize ourselves. And they have 7 points of reference. One way we know, obviously, is the 7 commandments of the ultimate 10 commandments, which is manifest through all the 10 plagues, which we'll finish off next week and we'll talk more about in the coming weeks of this Shovavim time period. But the concept of these forces coming to help us become who we truly are, that basically we're getting divine assistance. That's what I'm trying to say. We have a soul and there's divine assistance. It can come through plagues hitting the world and undoing our connection in a negative way to the world so we become more free, more soulful. Or it can come through righteous tzaddikim who come and assist us. Or it can come through us just wanting so much, like Rav Orish talks about, wanting in his new book, in the Or Chodesh, in the New Light, wanting so much to be connected to Hashem, this rutzon, this will, and this divine will then it arouses the divine will above. And right now we see a lot of divine will above. There's just so much rain pouring on this country, Baruch Hashem. It's just pouring and pouring, and the weather conditions, and we can get like a little bit, like I'm feeling a bit crusty. I'm healthy, thank God, I'm out of healing, but at the same time, like it's like pounding on me, and I don't have a car personally for whatever reason. I just prefer to walk, and I like the exercise and the freedom of going and learning on the way, and all the different things I can do, network. And then we have this intense weather going on in this winter, suddenly in the Holy Land, but it's really divine blessing. It's really a lot of bracha for this land. It's bringing so much shefa. And we have to look at things with a more soulful outlook. That's understanding that we're essentially, this is the point, the real point of this whole class. That's why you have to really listen to the whole thing. That essentially we are souls. And all these different forces from Hashem, from oneness, remember, it all comes from one. Never get fixated on these 7 divine emanations. But remember that all those divine emanations are one. Simply everything is, Parshat is oneness. And that's a Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Shem Echad. Those 6 words are connected to Shema Yisrael as the first 2 parshas of Shovavim. Shema is last week, Hashem heard our screaming. And Yisrael, we're becoming a nation. We're becoming the soul of Yisrael. And then Hashem Elokeinu Shem Echad, as we go through these next 6 parshas, the 6 words of Shema are manifest. B'shleimus, it's a deep concept. I thought of it myself. I think it's emes, and Tzaddikim explain the Shema is connected to these ideas with there's 42 words, and the B'koyach, Shem Mem Beis. There's deep ideas, but the point is that without going too Kabbalistic, we are sitting in Yerushalayim. We're sitting in the generation before Mashiach comes. We have the power to be soulful. We have the power to reveal Yisrael, to reveal that we have a soul. We have a soul that there's 600,000 letters in the Torah, which is connected. Each one has a connection to the Torah. And in order to learn Torah, we're going to have to honor the people in front of us. Like me and you are not going to understand each other unless there's some sort of respect. Like I said last week, you have to give feedback, but it has to be done respectfully. That in order to understand something, there has to be a basic level of respect. Communication in our generation needs to be with respect. People need to have much more forums of respect, and that will allow the real communication of the soul to come out. So then all these issues that we're seeing politically going on, all this impeachment, crazy stuff, and all this stuff going down out there in the world without getting into specifics, it's all a lack of communication from the soul. It's all about agendas and non-spiritual reasons for this. I need money, I have desires, I want this, I want that, you're in my way. It's nothing to do with the soul. If we're one people and one world, one love, and that's the true reality that HaTanya talks about so much in his Sefer. And this idea that we have one soul, and we're all really interconnected, and it's silly. If we hurt someone else, we're just hurting ourselves. It makes no sense to block someone else off from communicating, because we're one. We have to empathize, we have to have these 7 aspects that I talked about, I spoke about in the 7 habits and the 10 habits I spoke about back in the summer months. These amazing ideas of working together with people, having mission statement, win-win, and having empathy and listening to people. All these concepts that are really hidden within the 10 commandments, and these 7 plagues are undoing the false form of that. The clippers that hide the soul. That's what we have to understand. And when we're talking to people often, and this is very deep, but when you're talking to people, we'll end off on this, because it's been quite a long class, quite a deep class, but we're ending off with this concept of Emuna, that when we go out and meet people, when Rav Orish is talking to someone, he's not just talking to Bob and he's John. He's Rav Shalom Orish who's worked and tuned into the soul. So he's talking to another soul. For me, that was my biggest advice when I was midnight rabbi out all night in the streets. The rabbis used to tell me the only really way you can help a person is by tuning into the soul level. You can't really help a person physically, because then you're communicating on a very blocked surface level. They might not be in kosher, or they're not communicating from the soul level. They're not communicating from even emotionally healthy place. So then they as Eckhart Tolle talks about like pain bodies. They're like putting out a lot of pain and negativity, God forbid. Like that was big time in Egypt. Everyone was getting beaten, and like you see in the workforce, everyone's like competing, and it's a very like Mitzrayim, Egypt experience, and like suddenly like the political world as well. Everyone's like beating on each other and blasting and breaking news and everything. But it's all like very not soulful, not sensitive, not gentle, not loving, and that's like part of the problem, that we're not communicating from a soulful place. We're not learning how to tune into our soul, and once again, we're not tuning into these souls, not these Dybbuks, these like negative forces. The souls of Tzaddikim are helping us. The souls of Ibo Neshama, there's a birthplace going on all the time to fix up different levels of souls going on a daily level, on our life, on a practical way to help assist us. That's the point, that we have the koyach to do. We have the strength, the ability to be a spiritual nation and to do our purpose in the world. And that with that we'll end. Everyone has that power. And there's all kinds of ways that are assisting us. We're part of Yisrael. We're part of that oneness. We're part of the ultimate souls of all the righteous people of all the generation. They're assisting us. They're praying for us. It's not just like right this moment, a small little experience of my little life and my little problems. There's a massive world of spirituality going on every moment, and that's what the Baal HaTanya opened up the world to, this massive spiritual reality. And Rabbi Nachman opened up the power of every soul, and the Azar Malakai Ba'odi and many other things, and Rav Orish has homed it into Emuna, that you can, by speaking to Hashem and bringing it out on a daily level. This is the power of Am Yisrael. This is the power of our generation. We should have a beautiful week. Thanks for being patient in this quite long class. Please God, next week we'll keep it more contained and specific, but I just welcome you again to Rabbi Yonatan's class tomorrow night. And if it's already, this video is posted, another time will be Wednesday the 22nd. You can tune in, it will be online. Please God, on some level, definitely the audio, please God, hopefully some on live feed, where they're allowing and internet allowing, we'll put it out there. And please God, keep following all our series, and Emuna is our future tour host. Be involved, partner. Thank you for listening. Have a beautiful week. Enjoy being alive. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy your soul. Lovely listening and lovely to be here. Thank you.